will not engage in any comment on the many statements and speeches issues that have been discussed since yesterday night. What I would like to highlight is the remarkable degree of convergence of the reactions of all our EU 27 member states and the presidents of the institutions. I would like to reiterate our statement, the statement by President Juncker, who said a number of very clear things, and I think including the one that you mentioned. First, that we take note with regret of the outcome of the vote at the House of Commons yesterday. Second, that the withdrawal agreement is a fair compromise and the best possible deal, because it reduces the damage caused by Brexit for citizens and business for Europe, across Europe, and it is the only way to ensure an orderly withdrawal of the United Kingdom from the European Union. The President also said that following yesterday's vote, the risk of a disorderly withdrawal of the UK has increased, and while we do not want this to happen, we will continue and intensify our contingency work to ensure the EU is fully prepared. And the President also said that we expect the United Kingdom to clarify its intentions, what we want to do next, as soon as possible, because time is almost up. So, to cut the long story short, at this stage, there is nothing more than the EU can do. We are now waiting to hear from the United Kingdom on the intended next steps. Peppercorn.
Mark Papercorn, Vosco, Netherlands. I still want to continue a little bit on the question of Paddy, because this was Mr. Barnier who said it, who is, as far as I know, still the chief negotiator also for the Commission. He said clearly, if the UK is actually wanting to change its red lines, we are also willing to change our position. Did he indeed? Is it also the opinion of the Commission that if the UK would do that, we would have a new round, serious round of negotiations, which means also you need way more time?
In no way what Michel Barnier said is different from what I'm saying. We are always ready to meet and to talk, but the European Council, in its Article 50 formation, said in December that the withdrawal agreement, and I repeat, the withdrawal agreement agreed by the 27 in the United Kingdom is not open for renegotiation. Yes, let's go to the British corner. Yes, James. Rather central, not corner, sorry.
Thank you, Margaritis. I mean, the scale of the defeat yesterday is historic. Does that give the European Commission any pause for thought that perhaps the strategy pursued in these negotiations was flawed? And second question, I mean, why do you think that Theresa May, the Prime Minister, agreed a deal with you, with the EU, that has clearly very little support in the House of Commons and very little support in her own political party? Thank you.
James, I do not speak for Her Majesty's government. I only speak for the European Commission. I do not even claim to speak for the European Union. What I can tell you from our side, that we negotiated with Michel Barnier at the front a fair deal, a deal which got the unanimous backing of our 27 member states that gave us the mandate to do it, a deal that was accepted by the United Kingdom and the Cabinet. And as I said, this is where we are. All the rest, extent of the result, the vote, what happened yesterday, in a way, it only matters for as long as it contributes to crystallize the next move, which we are expecting. And the next move has to come from London. There is nothing else we can do from here at this stage. Jurek, sorry? Let's give the chance to more people and then we'll come back. Jurek.
Thank you, Margaret. It's Yuri Kushevich le soir. From what Michel Barnier said this morning and from what you just said, do I understand properly that the withdrawal agreement is not open for renegotiation, but the political declaration is?
I think that I will not restrain your right to understand properly what comes out of what we say. I think what matters at this stage, just to make sure that all this has a certain meaning, is that we know what to expect from the United Kingdom, and that we don't know. So I repeat, I will not restrain your right to understand. I don't think you are far from what you understand from reality, but all this makes sense only if we know what's next, and that we don't know. Quentin.
Ah, oui, Margaritis. Dans ton introduction, tu as indiqué que le président Juncker était en contact avec plusieurs leaders politiques. Est-ce que tu peux nous dire qui? Hier, on a compris que finalement Theresa May n'allait pas venir aujourd'hui, mais est-ce qu'il y a quand même une option pour qu'elle vienne aujourd'hui ou qu'elle vienne demain ou vendredi, ou est-ce qu'il y a eu un coup de téléphone entre Juncker et May? Est-ce que tu peux nous dire un peu plus? Merci.
Non, je ne peux pas te dire un peu plus. Ce que je peux te dire, c'est que dans son style que vous connaissez bien, le président Juncker a parlé avec presque tout le monde. Mais je ne vais pas maintenant faire une longue liste de toutes les personnes que je parlais. Il est là, il est ici, nous sommes tous ici. Mais je répète, il n'y a pas grand-chose à dire ou à faire aujourd'hui, pour autant qu'on ne sache pas ce que nos amis britanniques veulent faire suite au vote d'hier. Et il faut le dire aussi, suite au vote de ce soir. Yes, please. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Margaritis. Joe Barnes from the Daily Express. Is President Juncker going to be available in Brussels on Thursday and Friday for a potential trip from Theresa May to the Belgian capital? Thank you.
The President's agenda is public. We publish it every week, and we also present it to you. So you can see that he's here, he's available. Yes.
Thanks, Marguerite. It's on a slightly different Brexit note. There is a leaked recording in the Irish press today in which the Deputy Prime Minister of Ireland appears to concede that there will have to be checks on the border if there's a no-deal Brexit. I know Paddy has plugged away at this heroically over the period of the negotiations, but would you have anything to say on that? And does the Commission have any kind of contingency plans in place that you can talk about to avoid that scenario, or is it inevitable in the course of protecting the single market that that will happen?
We have something on the table which is a deal, and if this deal is ratified, by the way, we are advancing with our own ratification procedures, as the President said yesterday. Nothing of this sort will happen. What you're describing is a situation that would result from a no-deal exit, a disorderly withdrawal of the United Kingdom, which, as I said, we may be closer to, but it's not yet certain, and we'll try to make it not happen, provided that we know what's next, as we're expecting the next move from the United Kingdom. Let's try now to cover new angles. Yes, Georgi with a new angle. Or a new subject, eventually.
As James said, the vote is obviously catastrophic, and this obviously means that British MPs think the deal is bad, simply. But if the deal is bad, it means that, well, the deal was negotiated by two sides, and you keep repeating that this is the best deal. So I'm a little bit lost there. Is it a good deal or a bad deal, and why only Theresa May should suffer from the consequences as the chief negotiator on the British side, and on this side everything is looks calm.
I confess that I'm a bit lost with the way you phrase this alleged question. We have a deal. The deal is good deal and a fair deal, and proof of that is that our 27 member states that gave us the parameters to negotiate all backed the result, and we assume it's also a good deal for the United Kingdom because the Prime Minister and her cabinet agreed to it and approved it. That's why we kicked the ratification process. All the rest is literature. David.
Merci Margaritis. Vu que le président et d'autres personnalités européennes, Michel Barnier ce matin aussi, ont rappelé que l'hypothèse d'un no deal aujourd'hui est plus fort que jamais, à 10 semaines du Brexit, je voulais te demander deux choses. Quand la Commission, ou si tu peux nous expliquer qu'est-ce que la Commission va faire dans les prochains jours pour accélérer les préparatifs, et si je me rappelle bien, au début de toute la phase Brexit, on nous avait expliqué que la Commission aurait aussi regardé l'état d'avancement des préparatifs dans les États membres. Je voulais savoir si la Commission pense que tous les États membres sont prêts ou vont être prêts le 29 mars. Merci.
Écoute, pour le premier volet de ta question, il y a un travail énorme qui a été fait dans cette maison, déjà commencé par notre ancien secrétaire général, Alexander Italianer, et qui a continué et intensifié par l'actuel secrétaire général, Martin Selmayr, et son adjointe, Céline Gauer. Ce travail est là. On a eu l'occasion de le présenter au mois de décembre. Nous sommes en contact permanent avec les États membres, nos capitales. Nous connaissons le degré de cette préparation. Tous les États membres sont engagés dans ce travail aussi, avec nous, mais aussi dans le domaine qui leur sont spécifiques. Et c'est logique, comme le président l'a annoncé hier, qu'à partir de hier soir, cette filière de travail doit intensifier et nous y sommes, nous y travaillons. Pour la deuxième partie de ton question que j'ai oubliée, rappelle-moi.
Merci. Si je me rappelle bien, au début de toute la phase des négociations, en disant qu'il y aurait eu les préparatifs, on nous avait dit que la Commission aurait monitoré aussi l'état d'avancement. Et donc, je voulais savoir si vous pensez que tout le monde va être prêt, tous les États membres. Merci.
En fait, ma réponse couvrait aussi le deuxième volet de ta question. Effectivement, chaque État membre a entamé des préparatifs de travail de contingency, mais comme tu peux t'imaginer, pas tous les États membres ont le même problème ou la même intensité dans le problème. Il y a d'autres qui sont de trafic portuaire, d'autres qui le sont pas, etc., etc. Alors ce travail, nous le connaissons, nous travaillons avec nos États membres et nous continuerons à le faire les jours et les semaines qui viennent. Yes, please.
Jeremy Fleming from PAR. Margaritis, is the EU amenable to a request from the UK for an extension to the process? And if so, what is the outer limit of such an extension?
There has been no UK request for an extension. Should there be a UK request to extend, setting out the reasons for such an extension, it will be a matter for the EU 27 to decide by unanimity.
Dmitry Shkurko, National News Agency of Ukraine, on energy, if I may. Yesterday, Russian delegation...
See if we have a leftover from the Brexit, and then we move on to other subjects. I see lots of people interested. Verena, I'll come back to you.
Thank you. Just a brief follow-up on who talked to whom. You said President Juncker talked to almost everybody. Has he reached out to Theresa May, or will he?
Let me stay, Verena, to talk to everybody, because I don't want now to offer a very detailed list of all his talks. He's permanently on the phone with almost everybody, and the ones who didn't get the phone, he will get in the course of the day. Nicolas, someone who hasn't spoken yet.
Oui, Nicolas Grosveret de B2. Je voulais savoir si, sur certains sujets, je dirais, d'urgence, comme par exemple le mandat d'arrêt ou d'autres sujets, je dirais, d'intérêt de sécurité nationale, comme la situation risque d'être confuse encore pendant au moins quelques jours, et voire jusqu'au 29 mars, est-ce qu'il y aurait une voie, je dirais, d'urgence pour certains points très limités, touchant à des intérêts, je dirais, judiciaires ou de sécurité nationale, permettant de préserver, je dirais, les intérêts communs des deux parties, pas sur des questions économiques, mais sur d'autres questions. Je parle des sanctions de gel des avoirs, etc.
C'est une question, une considération très légitime. Dans le passé, nous avons toujours privilégié la priorité pour ces questions de sécurité avec nos relations avec le Royaume-Uni dans l'optique de leur départ. Mais je ne vais pas maintenant anticiper des idées ou des initiatives concrètes avant qu'on sache par le Royaume-Uni et son gouvernement quels sont leurs plans pour l'étape suivante. Et ça ne va pas tarder, si j'ai bien compris, ça sera fait début de la semaine prochaine. Yes, please.
Oui, Gabriel Grésillon pour les Échos. Je précise que ce n'est pas une if question, c'est une question juridique et technique. Je voudrais savoir quelles sont les modalités, quelles sont les modalités qui permettraient une extension au-delà des élections européennes. Par quels moyens juridiques et techniques peut-on envisager une extension qui irait au-delà?
C'est une question qui trouve sa réponse dans le traité. Il faut une demande qu'on n'a pas, et il faut un accord unanime. Je ne vais pas maintenant interpréter le traité. Le traité est là pour tout le monde. C'est le fameux article 50. Allez, David, last one, and then we switch to energy.
Thank you, Marguerite. It's David Price, Your Democracy. You may have noticed that UK has a pretty vigorous parliament, and you mentioned some improvements to the European parliamentary elections. But at the moment you have a system where some people can stand for parliament 18 years old, some are 21, some are 25, and so on, I think even 16. This wouldn't be tolerated in a place like UK or any other nation. You'd have a single statute. Don't you think if you had actually got your act together, you may have got a bit more sympathy about the democracy in Europe? And what are you going to do about it between now and May?
I have replied at least 5 times to the same question, and I have exhausted all my arguments. I cannot come with something else, I'm sorry. Yes, please.